What is the Italian word for pizza?
Pizza.
What is the Italian word for spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
What is the Italian word for bread?
Pane.
What is the Italian word for cheese?
Formaggio.
What is the Italian word for meat?
Carne.
What is the Italian word for fish?
Pesce.
What is the Italian word for chicken?
Pollo.
What is the Italian word for beef?
Manzo.
What is the Italian word for pork?
Maiale.
What is the Italian word for vegetables?
Verdure.
What is the Italian word for fruit?
Frutta.
What is the Italian word for dessert?
Dolce.
What is the Italian word for bread and butter?
Pane e burro.
What is the Italian word for breakfast?
Colazione.
What is the Italian word for lunch?
Pranzo.
What is the Italian word for dinner?
Cena.
What is the Italian word for snack?
Merenda.
What is the Italian word for fork?
Forchetta.
What is the Italian word for knife?
Coltello.
What is the Italian word for spoon?
Cucchiaio.
What is the Italian word for reservation?
Prenotazione.
What is the Italian word for table?
Tavolo.
What is the Italian word for chair?
Sedia.
What is the Italian word for couch?
Divano.
What is the Italian word for bed?
Letto.
What is the Italian word for pillow?
Cuscino.
What is the Italian word for towel?
Asciugamano.
What is the Italian word for soap?
Sapone.
What is the Italian word for shampoo?
Shampoo.
What is the Italian word for conditioner?
Balsamo.
What is the Italian word for toothbrush?
Spazzolino da denti.
What is the Italian word for toothpaste?
Dentifricio.
What is the Italian word for shower?
Doccia.
What is the Italian word for bathtub?
Vasca da bagno.
What is the Italian word for tissue?
Fazzoletto.
What is the Italian word for toilet paper?
Carta igienica.
What is the Italian word for towel rack?
Portasciugamani.
What is the Italian word for hair dryer?
Asciugacapelli.
What is the Italian word for iron?
Ferro da stiro.
What is the Italian word for washing machine?
Lavatrice.
What is the Italian word for dishwasher?
Lavastoviglie.
What is the Italian word for refrigerator?
Frigorifero.
What is the Italian word for oven?
Forno.
What is the Italian word for microwave?
Microonde.
What is the Italian word for kitchen sink?
Lavandino.
What is the Italian word for cutlery?
Posate.
What is the Italian word for plate?
Piatto.
What is the Italian word for glass?
Bicchiere.
What is the Italian word for tablecloth?
Tovaglia.
What is the Italian word for napkin?
Tovagliolo.
What is the Italian word for spoon?
Cucchiaio.
What is the Italian word for fork?
Forchetta.
What is the Italian word for knife?
Coltello.
What is the Italian word for pot?
Pentola.
What is the Italian word for saucepan?
Casseruola.
What is the Italian word for kettle?
Teiera.
What is the Italian word for bottle opener?
Apribottiglie.
What is the Italian word for can opener?
Apriscatole.
What is the Italian word for corkscrew?
Cavatappi.
What is the Italian word for bowl?
Scodella.
What is the Italian word for mug?
Tazza.
What is the Italian word for saucer?
Piattino.
What is the Italian word for tray?
Piatto da portata.
What is the Italian word for teapot?
Teiera.
What is the Italian word for wardrobe?
Armadio.
What is the Italian word for chest of drawers?
Cassettiera.
What is the Italian word for bookshelf?
Scaffale.
What is the Italian word for desk?
Scrivania.
What is the Italian word for chair?
Sedia.
What is the Italian word for sofa?
Divano.
What is the Italian word for armchair?
Poltrona.
What is the Italian word for stool?
Sgabello.
What is the Italian word for bed?
Letto.
What is the Italian word for mattress?
Materasso.
What is the Italian word for pillow?
Cuscino.
What is the Italian word for blanket?
Coperta.
What is the Italian word for duvet cover?
Trapunta.
What is the Italian word for bedsheet?
Lenzuolo.
What is the Italian word for pillowcase?
Federa.
What is the Italian word for kitchen?
Cucina.
What is the Italian word for bathroom?
Bagno.
What is the Italian word for living room?
Soggiorno.
What is the Italian word for bedroom?
Camera da letto.
What is the Italian word for elevator?
Ascensore.
What is the Italian word for stairs?
Scala.
What is the Italian word for door?
Porta.
What is the Italian word for window?
Finestra.
What is the Italian word for table?
Tavolo.
What is the Italian word for telephone?
Telefono.
What is the Italian word for mobile phone?
Cellulare.
What is the Italian word for television?
Televisore.
What is the Italian word for computer?
Computer.
What is the Italian word for book?
Libro.
What is the Italian word for newspaper?
Giornale.
What is the Italian word for magazine?
Rivista.
What is the Italian word for paper?
Carta.
What is the Italian word for train?
Treno.
What is the Italian word for airplane?
Aereo.
What is the Italian word for car?
Automobile.
What is the Italian word for bicycle?
Bicicletta.
What is the Italian word for t-shirt?
Maglietta.
What is the Italian word for shirt?
Camicia.